Tonight on CTV News at 6, a frightening scene.
A staff member did attempt to slow down the vehicle. The vehicle did make contact with the staff member.
A woman is facing charges following an incident outside a Greater Sudbury elementary school. Preparing the area.
It's a new model of road that will make a big difference in Northern Ontario.
Work is underway near North Bay on a 2+1 highway. And it's led by organizations.
Black Lives Matter Sudbury wants to be part of this to really build up capacity and empower people locally that might not see themselves reflected in local politics.
A free workshop to educate municipal candidates in the fall election.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday. Police have charged a 33-year-old woman after an incident that put a Greater Sudbury elementary school under a hold and secure. Around 2 p.m. yesterday, police received calls about a woman driving erratically in the parking lot of St. Charles Catholic Elementary School in Chelmsford. When police arrived, they say the driver hit a well-marked police cruiser and would not cooperate with officers, forcing them to break the passenger side window to get the keys. According to the Sudbury Catholic District School Board, one staff person trying to wave the driver down was hit by the vehicle.
A staff member did attempt to slow down the vehicle. The vehicle did make contact with the staff member. However, the staff member did not sustain any injuries. The individual driving the vehicle does not have any affiliation to the school or anybody at the school.
The 33-year-old from Chelmsford faces 8 charges, including stunt driving and dangerous operation. The board says there is no affiliation between the St. Charles community and the driver. Police in Sault Ste. Marie arrested a 32-year-old yesterday connected to a break-in at a home on Abbott Street near downtown. Around 10 Monday morning, police were called to a crime in progress. Officers located the person inside the home and arrested them. The individual has been charged with breaking and entering and theft under $5,000. Meanwhile, police in North Bay are looking for a suspect connected to a break and enter at a local business. Police believe this person was involved in a break-in at a shop in the 100 block of Main Street East in the city's downtown area. Anyone with information on the suspect or who may have footage of the area on Friday, May 15th around 4:30 a.m. is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. If you've driven along Highway 11 between North Bay and Temagami lately, you may have noticed clearing of an 11-kilometer stretch on the side of the road. It's part of the 2+1 highway project, the first highway safety pilot of its kind in North America. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
With clear cutting off the side of Highway 11 north of Sandam Road complete, the early work for the long-awaited 2+1 highway project is finally underway.
It's a new model of road that will make a big difference in Northern Ontario.
The Ministry of Transportation says the purpose of the clearing is to reconfigure and widen Highway 11 to accommodate the 2+1 roadway, rehabilitate other elements including frost heaves, pavement distress, and complete various improvements.
You'll see the logs on the side of the road. You'll see the clearing being done. Of course, before that, all of the engineering and planning was done.
The 2+1 pilot project will be set in 2 places on Highway 11, from Sandam Road to Ellesmere Road, and from Highway 64 north to Jumping Caribou Lake Road. The design involves a 3-lane configuration with a median barrier, turnarounds and signs, where there will be more chances to pass without widening the highway to 4 lanes.
For parts of it going north, it'll be 2-lane versus 1 coming south, and then it switches over to 2-lane coming south and 1 going north.
First announced in 2021, the highway safety idea came from European countries like Sweden, which now has about 3,000 kilometers of 2+1 roads and continues to build more.
When there's difficult terrain, it's easier to build a 2+1 road and still achieve very high safety outcomes.
MTO retained infrastructure consulting and engineering firm AECOM Canada to undertake the design and class environmental assessment study.
And it can also be a model where we have, significantly lower volumes than where we would need twinning.
Studies have proven these roads have reduced fatality rates from 55% to 80%, while also improving travel times. Eric Tashner, CTV News, on Highway 11 north of North Bay.
Hydro One is moving forward with plans for a new transmission line between Timmins and Wawa. And as CTV's Lydia Chubak tells us, the utility has identified its preferred route.
We've started talking to them.
Hydro One officials are sharing details and answering questions about the Timmins to Wawa transmission line project. Hydro One's Director of Strategic Project Delivery says growing electricity demand is driving the need for the project.
This transmission line is supporting the planned growth in electricity demand in the Northeast region and will provide additional capacity and reliability in the area.
Hydro One has now identified the line's preferred route. The proposed line would stretch approximately 300 kilometres between Timmins and Wawa and connect into the existing Porcupine transformer station.
We're here to share that preferred route with the community members that are interested, answer any questions that they have about that, and also seek any more information that they may want to be able to provide to us.
Utility officials say they will continue working with landowners along the route and are encouraging residents to review project information and provide feedback. Construction is expected to begin in the summer of 2028, with the line scheduled to be in service by 2030. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Let's take a look at the weather now. Another day of sunshine and summer-like temperatures. To tell us more, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Okay, Tony, it's June 2nd. I've yet to say this, but it'll be steaming a little bit later on this week in some areas. So you'll have to wait for the 7-day forecast to see the actual numbers. It'll be warm in some cases. Frost warning still in effect. North Bay, Mattawa, Powassan, that area east of Parry Sound, Kirkland Lake and Temiskaming Shores added to the list courtesy of Environment Canada. Systems map courtesy of Environment Canada. Once again, no appreciable precipitation for tomorrow, but that'll happen later on in the week. You can see that system inching in, so we'll have some details a little bit later on. Your currents are coming up just minutes away.
Thanks a lot for that, Rick. They are off for 21 weeks. Still to come on CTV News at 6. Ontario politicians are getting an extra long break from Queen's Park. Before we get to that story, we're heading to Gillies Lake in Timmins, and this live webcam is courtesy of that city. It's 25 Celsius in Timmins. We will return in just a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
It may not be summer yet, but the summer break has begun for the Ontario Legislature. The spring session ended today after just 30 days. MPPs will not sit again until the fall. But as CTV's Siobhan Morris tells us, the government says it doesn't mean it won't be hard at work in the meantime.
It's the pageantry that puts a period on the spring session of the Ontario Legislature. Just 30 days inside Queen's Park, packed with controversy for Premier Doug Ford and his government.
He spent their money on a luxury private jet. He sold out the Toronto waterfront to American investment bankers. And he changed the laws of this province to hide his cell phone records.
By the time MPPs are all back together, leaves will be falling off the trees. The legislature on recess until October 27th.
It's not a break. We are going to be extremely busy with public hearings, with committees, with conferences. You will see MPPs in every corner of this province.
The Premier defends his work ethic. He says his schedule is packed, including with work trips to the U.S.
Rather than sitting here and arguing with each other, we're actually going to get out there and talk to the people and start bringing more jobs to Ontario.
But critics argue it's more about ducking accountability.
It's wrong. And the government's just getting the habit of doing this. They don't want to be here. They don't want the scrutiny.
There is a second part of the government's justification of waiting until late October to reconvene.
We don't want to interfere in the municipal elections.
Opposition leaders counter that in the last few weeks, the government's expanded the powers of regional chairs, muscled in on the deal governing Toronto's Island Airport.
They directly interfered in Toronto elections back in 2018. So it's BS if the government's not bringing us back because they don't want to interfere in municipal elections.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Complaints alleging systemic racism in the deaths of 2 Indigenous people from Timmins have been dismissed by an Ontario Human Rights Tribunal. The complaints were filed by families of 2 people who had died in 2018, one shot by local police, the other had been released from hospital while still suffering serious medical issues. As a result of current laws saying neither an estate nor estate trustee can claim discrimination, the judge in the tribunal dismissed the claims. You can read more on this story on our website, CTV News NorthernOntario.ca. Are you thinking about running for municipal council or just curious about how local politics really works? CTV's Lindsay Alick tells us about your city, your voice.
From curious to candidate, a free workshop will be held this Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Downtown Library in Sudbury and is hosted by 7 community-led organizations.
One of the things that we talk about when representation comes up in running for council is that our cities are only most effective when they represent everyone that lives within the city limits, but also really help remove some of the barriers that people face when they want to run for office.
The event will feature guest speaker Sandy Hudson, activist and founder of Black Lives Matter Canada.
Black Lives Matter Sudbury wants to be a part of this to really build up capacity and empower people locally that might not see themselves reflected in local politics. So we definitely encourage participation from Black, Indigenous, and racialized folks, folks in the 2S LGBTQIA plus community, women, younger folks, working class people that deserve to have a say in politics and deserve to have an opportunity to shape the future of our city.
You're going to get better decisions by having a more diverse council. And we're never going to get that diversity if you don't put your name forward and if you don't try. And I mean, there are councillors on council right now who put their name on the ballot multiple times before they got elected. So it's really important to try.
Deb McIntosh has been on Sudbury City Council since 2014. And while she won't be seeking re-election, she does have advice for those that are thinking about it.
I've really enjoyed the work, and I would encourage anybody who's thinking about doing it to pick up the phone, start talking to people about, whether you have a role to play in public office. And even if you don't want to put your name on the ballot, get behind somebody who is going to run.
30 people have already registered for the workshop, but organizers say drop-ins are welcome. They add that free childcare is also available for those that need it. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
And the city of Greater Sudbury is working to connect hungry customers with food trucks and other mobile food vendors this summer. That story from CTV's Angela Gemmell.
It's opening day for Migs. This food truck is back for its 2nd summer in this location, the municipal boat launch on Ramsey Lake.
Coming back here so like people know this is where we are.
Yeah, so this is they know where we are. They've been here before.
Yeah.
They're looking for the big green truck here on Ramsey Lake Road.
Migs is one of 3 mobile food operators who are already part of Greater Sudbury's food truck program. The city's partnership and outreach coordinator says there are 9 other pre-vetted locations available this summer.
By pre-vetted, we just mean that we've looked at some spaces. These are high traffic areas. Either they have lots of recreation around them or people just walking, sports, tournaments, stuff like that, so that it'll be beneficial to the vendor themselves.
The Migwans say the city guided them through the process to get all their permitting and other requirements needed to operate their food truck. For others who are interested in the city's food truck program, they suggest having the necessary paperwork all together.
Health inspection, fire department.
Criminal check.
You also need criminal checks and food handlers.
Yeah.
So having all these in line would probably save you a few trips to the city.
Marcus is excited for Sudbury's food scene this summer, particularly for the mobile food vendors who will be popping up at municipal sites this season.
This is just the next natural evolution. The step is to get out there and see if we can bulk up the program, see if we can get more participation. Sudbury has an incredible food scene and culture here.
Meanwhile, the owners of Migs say they've already served a number of returning customers so far today. They add they'll be here at this busy location all summer long. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
And Sudbury's iconic William Ramsey is back on the water. The tour boat kicked off its season over the weekend, welcoming passengers back for scenic tours on Ramsey Lake. The boat will run on weekends until June 27th. Then there will be 5 cruises a day, 7 days a week for the summer season. This is the vessel's first full year of being back in regular service since its multi-year hiatus and recent restoration. Crew members say they are excited to be back.
We're right on the boardwalk. We're between Science North and Bell Park. The city is doing all kinds of events this summer. Almost every weekend this summer they've got something going on, and we're a 10-minute walk away, so that really helps.
And you can find ticket details and departure times on its website. Tickets can also be purchased at Science North's admissions desk. Huge snowstorms this winter and more winter to come before the year is over. It could cost the city of Timmins an extra $3 million. A report headed to City Council tonight notes the snow removal budget for 2026 was just over $7.9 million. So far, the city has spent more than $8.2 million, and it still has November and December of this year to contend with. Staff are estimating if the city gets the same kind of winter it's had in the past few seasons, it could cost the community $3 million more when winter returns. And back now for a check on your current conditions with Rick. And not winter here, more summer-like temperatures.
Well, exactly, Tony. And I was just telling someone that this is the second straight night we've had a snow-related story in the news in June. June 1st, June 2nd. Let's say we can make it 3 in a row. Our current temperatures, you'll be, well, delighted. Moosonie 19 sunshine, 23 Cochrane sunshine as well, 25 Timmins sunshine, and 24 in Kapuskasing sunshine. Snow in June, forget about it. 26 Chapleau, sunny skies, 19 Wawa, sunny skies, 23 in the Sioux, beautiful sunshine there. Meanwhile, Parry Sound, 22 sun and cloud. In North Bay, we've got 24, mainly sunny skies. Temiskaming Shores, 25. Kirkland Lake, 24. Kirkland Lake, Temiskaming Shores, threat of or risk of frost. 26 Greater Sudbury, 27 Espanola, 26 Elliott Lake, and 25 in Gore Bay. Tony, your 7-day forecast. I won't talk about the snow coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks for that, Rick. Dominic LeBlanc is in Washington. Next on CTV News at 6. Canada's trade minister is going to meet with Trump's trade czar to try to hammer out a deal. And a toddler in Quebec dies after a bouncy castle is carried away during a thunderstorm. A 3-year-old child who was thrown from a bouncy castle during a powerful storm in Quebec has died. The Quebec coroner's office confirmed the heartbreaking death. A statement translated from French to English says a coroner has been appointed to conduct the investigation to determine the causes and circumstances surrounding the fatal incident. Witnesses say powerful winds in the Montreal area hoisted the bouncy castle into the air with children still inside. Paramedics treated 11 people. Canada's Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is in Washington ahead of a high-stakes meeting. He issued a letter to the U.S. and Mexico calling for a lengthy renewal of the Continental Trade Agreement. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports from Washington.
Minister, what are the goals of this meeting?
The goals of this meeting is to be able to tell you how well it's gone when we finish at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
The Canada-U.S. Trade Minister and Chief Negotiator in Washington to talk with the top U.S. trade rep, Jameson Greer. Dominic LeBlanc issued a letter to the U.S. and Mexico officially stating Canada's recommendation for a 16-year renewal of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement.
We took stock of the work that the Americans want to do with Canada and the work that we're prepared to do over the coming weeks. I remain optimistic about the work that we can do with the Americans.
While a delegation from Manitoba was also here Tuesday, separately meeting with other U.S. trade officials.
There's clearly a path forward. There's clearly an importance for both countries as well to find a solution to this. So, I think we heard clearly what some of those irritants were. I think there's a path that we can make these kind of go away as well, though.
The U.S. has made its irritants known. The booze ban, supply management, and the Online Streaming Act high on the list, with one source today quoting frustration from U.S. officials who said dealing with Canada has been a roller coaster.
He seems to go and socialize and come back empty-handed while the Mexicans have been in formal negotiations, eating our lunch for the last 6 months. I am concerned that Mr. LeBlanc goes down at a time when Mark Carney has led us into the only recession in the G7.
The Prime Minister, meanwhile, tried to downplay the idea Mexico is further ahead in talks.
There's a series of issues, technical issues that they have with Mexico, they have with us, which is why there's a bifurcated discussion. So 30 issues or so with us, more than almost 60, I think, with Mexico at current count. And so we're working through a series of those issues.
Mexico has already wrapped up one round of trade talks with the U.S. with 2 more set, leaving many worried about where that leaves Canada ahead of a July 1st deadline. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Washington.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump is taking the news that Canada is in a technical recession as an opportunity to revive his threats of making Canada the 51st state. CTV's Rachel Aiello has the latest.
The U.S. president is at it again, taking to Truth Social last night to call Canada the 51st state. A message amplified this morning by the American ambassador to Canada. Prime Minister Mark Carney said despite the rhetoric, it's an administration Canada has to work with.
We take the administration as it is and are working together in a number of areas.
Canada strong.
This less than a week after Carney said a strong Canada would help make America great again. And that line was one U.S. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra said was worth repeating. Asked what he makes of Donald Trump using recession talk to revive the annexation taunt, Pierre Poilievre called it ridiculous.
We have to make sure that we don't allow ridiculous comments like that to distract us from the very real suffering that Canadians are experiencing. The regret that Mr. Carney has created this weakness going into formal negotiations.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford also pushed back, while noting Ontario created 380% more jobs than the U.S. per capita in April.
Yeah, here he goes again. Here goes President Trump again, 51st state. I get tired of that guy.
These Canadians weren't worried about the U.S. trying to use our economic slowdown as leverage.
We got lots of opportunities here. We are a country with minerals. We are a country with professionals.
Canadians will have none of it.
Does Trump even know what leverage is?
This is not just Canada that's experiencing the economic issues. It's a worldwide thing.
While the Canadians we spoke to didn't express the same concerns, today the opposition called on Carney to present a plan to reverse the recession so that Canada can go into this summer's trade talks in a better economic position. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
A rare phenomenon was spotted emerging from an active volcano in Hawaii. Cameras installed by the U.S. Geological Survey captured this whirlwind twisting from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano yesterday. Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes where there have been frequent eruptions for well over a year. And there's more news still ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick.
Okay, Tony, a little bit of everything. We've got some warmer temperatures, we've got some rain, and we've got loads of sunshine. Let's check out our forecast radar right now. System moving in, eventually, you'll see either a 30, 40, or 60% chance of precipitation. We'll get to that momentarily. 7-day forecast as it filters through by about Thursday at supper time. So meanwhile, let's check out our overnight conditions. Predominantly clear right across the Northeast. 7, 5, 6, 2, and 4 in Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins, Temiskaming Shores, and North Bay. More of the same as well. Moosonee at 12, Caphurst 9, Wawa 4, Gore Bay 9, and Parry Sound. Just a few clouds at 7. Now the report card. Sudbury, Nickel Belt, sunshine at 29 tomorrow, 27 Thursday, sun and cloud. Here comes the rain, 60 and 40% chance of showers for a couple of days. The start to the weekend, a little slow here. Sunday, we've got sun and cloud, 28, 28 again on Monday. Loads of sunshine, that's well above normal. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, sunshine tomorrow at 26. Chance of showers 3 consecutive days in the Sioux at 40, 60, and 30%. Meanwhile, Sunday, we've got sunshine and 28. Monday, more sunshine going all the way up to 29. Going to be a great day there in the Sioux and Algoma. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Sunshine tomorrow, a steamy 31. Lydia Chubak will like that temperature tomorrow. Thursday, chance of showers 27, 21 on Friday, chance of showers. Saturday, sun and cloud 23, 29 Sunday, loads of sunshine there, and more of it Monday, sunshine and 30. Wow, 31 and 30 for Timmins. They deserve it. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, we've got sunshine 29 tomorrow. Chance of showers 3 consecutive days, 30, 60, and 30%. Temperatures, well above normal. Sunday, sun and cloud 28. Monday, going up to 30. Don't forget that risk of frost. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake as well for this evening, as issued by Environment Canada. Now North Bay and West Nipissing, sunshine tomorrow 28, 26 Thursday, cloud cover there, 60 and 40% chance of showers Friday and Saturday, 24 and 26, 27 for a couple of days. Sunday, sun and cloud. Monday, sunshine. Again, above normal for this time of the year. So you want warmer weather, you're getting it. You're also getting some precipitation. And again, lots of sunshine. James, let's roll that pick of the day, if you will. Great shot here. Thanks, Graham. Taken at Point Louise at Sault Ste. Marie, the moonrise over the St. Mary's River. Great shot there, Graham. I appreciate your contribution. Stick around. Tony has more news coming up after the break.
Following a crackdown on auto theft, the number of vehicles stolen across Canada last year dropped by 18% over the year before. While progress is being made, there were still 47,000 thefts reported in 2025, which continues to put pressure on car insurance premiums. CTV's Pat Foran has details.
The 2024 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro is a nice truck, and Bart Keller of Alliston is frustrated that his pickup was almost stolen again for the second time. Along with the latest in security equipment, he also has video cameras installed inside the truck.
Well, I have the immobilizer, the dash cam set up. I have a tag system on it. I pretty much protected myself as much as I can.
The first time the vehicle was almost stolen was from his driveway. His camera caught thieves as they used a grinder to cut through a steering wheel lock. Because Keller uses an immobilizer, the thieves were unable to steal his truck. Eventually, they gave up and left.
When they did that, the sparks went everywhere inside the car, you know, the windshield, the roof. So there was quite a bit of damage done there.
Last month, while he was at the movies, thieves tried again to steal his vehicle. They broke windows and used a hacksaw.
They cut through the steering wheel, and it's a bit of a problem because it's a very expensive steering wheel with the airbag and everything attached and all the media on it.
Eventually, the thieves also became frustrated by the immobilizer and left, but Keller's video clearly shows one of the suspects. He handed over the video to Peel Police, and 2 days later, an arrest was made.
I'm really happy to hear that they've been apprehended and charges are pending.
A police spokesman said they couldn't comment as the case is before the courts. Keller says even though his truck was not stolen, the vandalism and damage caused still requires thousands of dollars in repairs.
I just hope this doesn't keep happening. We need change. We need to stop this.
Keller recommends investing in security equipment to prevent your vehicle from being stolen.
Now, I want consumers to protect themselves. Get yourself an immobilizer. Get yourself those extra little add-ons because I've seen my vehicle twice already.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
New polling is bringing to light just how frustrated and fed up Canadians feel about our healthcare system. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more on the data and one family's experience that was once unheard of and now for many is the norm.
She got her own bowl of Cheerios last week for the first time.
Jen Dunn still remembers how she got her daughter Kaya, who has severe autism, a referral to a pediatrician. How could she forget?
I'm not exaggerating. I was on my knees in tears. And I said, I'm not leaving here until I get some help. Nobody will help me.
Hours spent in waiting rooms or months on referral lists. Don't pass quickly.
Any kid on the spectrum, it's just so hard for them to wait.
Dutton's #1 focus is her daughter, but her own care situation is bleak. She last had a family doctor a decade and a half ago.
I was pregnant with my daughter and she just turned 16. I have gone on extensive wait lists, but I never get, it's like a lottery to get in.
Dutton's experience is echoed in a new Nanos research poll of 1,000 Canadians who most commonly named long waits their #1 healthcare concern, followed by poor access to services and shortages of both doctors and staff. More than 90% of Canadians polled say something needs to change. More than 2/3 are open or somewhat open to having providers use AI to assist with diagnosis and treatment plans. 60% expressed openness to allowing private organizations to deliver publicly funded surgeries and diagnostic tests to reduce wait times.
The health system generally is so hard to turn this big ship around, whether it comes to using virtual care, allowing health professionals to use AI, allowing health professionals to do more of the things that traditionally doctors would do.
Only 14% of Canadians polled believe the healthcare system is headed in the right direction. No matter the solution, and a fix won't be simple, almost everyone agrees something is seriously wrong. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
June is National Deaf-Blind Month in Canada, and Sudbury is celebrating in a tactile way. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
The City of Greater Sudbury made a proclamation in honor of individuals with deaf blindness in the community.
So we think it's amazing just to have the inclusion and to feel for our individuals so that they feel like they're like everybody else.
In Sudbury, currently we have 3 supported living homes, so we're supporting 8 individuals that experience life with deaf blindness.
We know that just over 2% of the Canadian population, according to Statistics Canada, are deaf-blind. So that's people who are living with both hearing and vision loss combined.
Following tradition, Deaf Blind Ontario services and supporters are decorating the city in a tactile way, with yarn bombing to spark conversations.
We do a big initiative called Yarn Bombing in Sudbury. So last year you may have seen the colorful coins of Sudbury kind of roaming around. This year we're doing something a little bit different. So we have, I think, 16 or 17 companies, organizations, installations out across the city.
We're also including some information about it and encouraging people to find out more about the deaf blindness, to find out more about the services that are available, and really just to learn more, to have a deeper understanding.
Organizations that support individuals with deaf blindness say it's important the community see them represented locally.
It means everything to me because deaf blindness, it's unique. It's a unique disability.
This is important for people to know about what deaf and blind so they can understand and create a more inclusive and supportive community.
The advocacy goes beyond yarn. In just a few weeks, the Sudbury Water Tower will be lit blue, connecting it with other landmarks, showing making waves from coast to coast. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
An inspiring journey rooted in kindness and resilience made a stop in Northern Ontario. 20-year-old cancer survivor Quinn Strang is hitchhiking his way across Canada to raise money for cancer research. Beginning in his hometown of Moncton, New Brunswick, he is tracing Terry Fox's historic route from coast to coast. Since Friday, he has traveled through Sudbury, Wawa, and White River. Yesterday, he climbed the steps to the Terry Fox Memorial statue in Thunder Bay, a moment he says he will never forget.
It was breathtaking. My uncle was telling me about it, and I made sure to not Google any pictures of it before I got there, just so I was even more blown away. And they couldn't have picked a better spot to move it to. It's absolutely gorgeous. I literally stayed there for about 5-6 hours, and I just took it all in. And yeah, no, it means a lot. I actually met Terry Fox's cousin there, and he gave me a 25th anniversary T-shirt, which was wicked, and I got to talk to him. So I'm never gonna forget that.
Strang has already raised close to $70,000 on his journey out west. He says his message to others is simple. If you want to get somewhere big, you have to do something big. Well, he's a graduate of Laurentian University. Still ahead on CTV News at 6. The new chancellor is also making history with the post-secondary institution. We'll tell you why next.
Clothing provided by Laura, Melanie Lynn.
Laurentian University's new chancellor was installed at a recent convocation ceremony. The university marked the milestone during its spring convocation ceremony, welcoming Kristen Straub as the first ever Indigenous person to hold the title. The ceremony featured a traditional drum performance and the presentation of a wampum belt meant to symbolize trust and cooperation between the university and First Nations communities. Straub's grandparents, Art and Eva Solomon, were instrumental in founding Laurentian's Native Studies program, making his installation a full circle moment.
Like you, I stand here today as a man shaped by those who walked before me. I am a product of mentors who saw potential when I was still finding my voice, as friends who held me accountable, and a family who remained my anchor. To my wife, my children, my elders, and my colleagues who have guided my path, you are the bedrock upon which I stand.
And this week, Laurentian will also award 3 honorary doctorate degrees during convocation ceremonies. Kids in Sault Ste. Marie are about to get the chance to run the city for a day. The city is holding its Mayor for a Day contest, and these are pictures of last year's winner, Taylor May Brown. Grade 5 and 6 students are encouraged to put their creativity to the test. Kids are asked, why would you like to be mayor for a day? What would you do if you were mayor? And what do you enjoy most about living in Sault Ste. Marie? Submissions are accepted until June 17th. To the NHL, and this evening, the Stanley Cup final begins in Carolina with the Hurricanes hosting the Vegas Golden Knights. Meanwhile, after 14 years, Montreal Canadiens forward Brendan Gallagher will leave the organization this summer. He made the announcement yesterday morning as the team cleaned out their lockers. CTV's Matt Gilmore reports.
He's been the Habs' heart and soul for 14 seasons. But after being left out of the lineup for much of the playoffs, Brendan Gallagher says his time in Montreal is up.
Well, it's pretty clear. I'll be kind of moving on here, but, you know, incredibly sorry. Jeez. No, I'm just very fortunate.
Loved by the fans, but also by his teammates.
He's obviously one of the most special humans, besides teammate, that I've ever got to play with. So how he was able to write his story kind of just made it possible for a guy like me to even have a chance.
You know, he's a tremendous guy off the ice. You know, a family man now, and you know, a guy that you know is gonna be a friend for life. So he's meant a lot to this city.
It's a turning of the page, but analyst Mark Denis says it also shows the team is progressing.
So a good sign of more maturity within the leadership group when you're able to let a player who's spent over 900 regular season games in your organization.
Gallagher says he has no plans to retire from the NHL. Wherever he ends up next season, he says he'll be keeping an eye on the Habs.
This is a really good group, you guys. It's a group that really cares about each other, obviously. You know, they've been together for a long time. They're going to keep working at it, and I wish them nothing but the best.
After a grueling postseason, the takeaway from the players is as close as they came. There's still a long way to go.
Overall, I think we look at it on a positive note with you know, how young we are, how bright our future is, but you never know how many opportunities you're going to get to be in an Eastern Conference final. So
it makes me more hungry, and everyone just a bit hungrier to get back there and prove ourselves.
The players say the experience of going deep in the playoffs taught the group a lot about managing their bodies, but also their emotions. Experience they hope will help them take the next step next season. Matt Gilmore, CTV News.
Team Canada took on Uzbekistan last night in a friendly ahead of the FIFA World Cup.
Picked up by Oluwaseyi once again. Osorio drives it in!
Canada got on the board in the 58th minute of the match, which was played in Edmonton. Canada added another goal in the first minute of stoppage time to secure a 2-0 victory. The team will be back on the pitch Friday in Montreal to play Ireland in another friendly. New details from North Bay Tourism about the upcoming Canada Celebrates FIFA World Cup 2026 event. The city will be hosting a free fan experience, which includes live broadcasts of the 2 quarterfinal matches July 11th The event, which is being co-hosted by Canadore College and Nipissing University, will start at 3 p.m. with family-friendly activities.
Entertainment is brought to you by Super Big Money TV Bingo. Join us this Saturday at 6:30 on CTV.
A new hockey series off campus has started filming season 2 in Vancouver following its huge success. The show, based on a book of the same title, gives University of British Columbia students some bragging rights. CTV's Yasmin Gandam reports.
So what, I hope you study and you play my fake boyfriend?
Off Campus is shot on campus at UBC, where the university is transformed into the fictional Briar U in Boston.
It was just like some of the most fun I've ever had on set. The crew was incredible, the cast was incredible.
The show is filled with Canadian representation, from on-screen and behind the scenes to homegrown music. 14 Vancouver Film School alumni helped with season 1, including actress Amira Anderson.
We don't get to see that very often anymore. It's a lot of like talent has flown in, and we don't make use of what's here. So it was really nice to be surrounded by that.
The show breaking records with more than 37 million global viewers in less than 2 weeks. It's a massive bounce back for BC's filming industry that has seen challenges with the COVID-19 pandemic and a writer's strike.
I think we're all cautiously optimistic. You nailed it. It's been a really, really tough year, not just for British Columbia, but globally for the motion picture industry.
Canadian band The Beaches saw a boost with their song experiencing a nearly 900% increase in streams after being featured in the show. Notable campus spots include the Irving Learning Center and, of course, the Thunderbird Sports Center, which stands in for the hockey arena and locker rooms, bringing BC to center stage.
Yes, there's more work to do always. We want to make sure that we are top of mind always when people look at where to bring production, but something like Off Campus is just, it makes us incredibly proud.
The hope is for more films and TV shows to showcase Canadian talent, and Off Campus may just be what the industry needed to prove its worth.
It's just kind of a spark of hope that I think we all really needed.
Yasmin Gandam, CTV News, Vancouver.
Taylor Swift has a friend in Disney, and Anna Kendrick is getting back in the director's chair. David Daniel has that and more in tonight's Hollywood Report.
It's official. Taylor Swift has written an original song for Toy Story 5. I Knew It, I Knew You will drop Friday ahead of the film's debut June 19th. Taylor said on Instagram, I've always dreamed of getting to write for these characters who I've adored since I was a 5-year-old kid watching the first Toy Story movie. Anna Kendrick is returning to the director's chair. She'll take the helm of The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, based on the novel by Daisy Jones and the Six author Taylor Jenkins Reid. Kendrick made her directorial debut with 2024's Woman of the Hour. Here's a perfect family outing. The new edition of Cat Video Fest is headed to theaters for a limited run beginning August 6th. A portion of ticket proceeds benefits local cat-focused charities, animal welfare groups, and shelters. Check locations and showtimes at catvideofest.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
We have an update on home sales in the key BC market of Vancouver. Let's get the details now from BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez.
Home sales in Metro Vancouver were down almost 4% in May compared to May of 2025. The biggest weight on the sector, apartment sales. They were down about 7%. The benchmark price of a home is also down year over year by more than 6%. For May, it was just over $1,100,000. The benchmark price for an apartment specifically in Metro Vancouver was just under $700,000. Here are the closing numbers for the day. Canadian dollar up a fraction to 72.27. West Texas Intermediate up to 93.53. Western Canadian Select is down to 71.43. And the TSX popped up over 400 points today for a new record close of 35,169. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $6.44, closing the day at $44.89.42 US an ounce. Silver up 37 cents to end the day at $75.19. Copper moved forward 4 cents to $6.32, and nickel up 10 cents, ending the day at $8.67 US a pound. And Rick is back now for one last look at your Wednesday weather.
Well, Tony, I've been told to take my time doing the weather so we can talk about life in general with warmer conditions and the chance of rain in our forecast. 29 and sunshine tomorrow. 31 in Timmins. I like that. 3-1. It's about time. 26 in Sault Ste. Marie. Loads of sunshine. Here we go. North Bay 28. Sunny skies. Parry Sound mainly sunny 24. And Temiskaming Shores 29 sunshine. So a neighbor of mine, Phil, says the Stanley Cup is coming back to Toronto. And I said, Phil, how is that possible? Toronto's not playing in the Stanley Cup final. He goes, Mitch Marner, when Vegas wins the Stanley Cup, will bring the cup back to Toronto. I don't know if I agree with that, but I'm going with Carolina in 6. What's your call?
Yeah, I like Carolina too. I think that series will go 7. And finally tonight, the old saying, aging like fine wine, is being put to the test. A collection of wine from the late 19th century has been restored by a prestigious French winery and is now on public display. For years, the wine was hidden away under a chapel floor in the Bekov Castle in the Czech Republic. Most of the 133 bottles date from the 1890s. They were hidden at the end of the Second World War II by the then owners of the castle and weren't discovered until 1985. The winery cellar master says the hidden cache provided perfect conditions for keeping the wine in good condition. And folks, more news comes your way at 11:30 with Amanda Hicks. Thanks for watching CTV News at 6. Good night.